we have come to the chapter 6, which has got two names, Dhyana Yoga or Atma Samyama Yoga. Atma Samyama Yoga means how to control our senses and mind. Dhyana Yoga also means how to reach God in meditation. In this beautiful chapter, Krishna teaches Arjuna how to do the meditation. What is the end of doing meditation? What part is the end of doing meditation, and so on. The chapter starts with a beautiful sentence by Bhagavan. One who does all his actions without any expectation of result, he is a sannyasi and a yogi. Beautifully here, Krishna is calling anybody who is doing his duty as a karma yogi, offers it at the feet of God, is also a sannyasi and yogi, he says. Not that man who has taken sannyasa as we mean, that is a man who doesn't have to do any offering in Agni, or not the man who has left his duties. So, he is a yogi who does this action, offers it at the feet of God, and doesn't depend on the result of it, not worried about it. And he says, that which is called sannyasa is not different from yoga. Unless one leaves all his expectations or desires, one cannot become a yogi. So we must try to take life after all that we do as it comes later. And continuing, he is a yogi who does all his action, not worried about the result. Karma yoga is essential even for a jnani. Without karma, as he said in the chapter 3, a man cannot live at all. And then he says, we have to control our senses and the sense object, and also our desires. Only then a man can expect to become a sannyasi, not the others. And after saying so much about the yoga, Krishna says, it is the duty of everyone to lift himself up. Uddhare atmanatmanam natmanam avasade. We must not put ourselves down, he says, because our Atma is our Bandhu and our Atma is our Shatru, Ripu. Therefore, unless one wants to achieve something, no external force will help him. Krishna therefore says, Uddhared Atmanatmanam. You have to lift up yourself, nobody will help you. And your friend is your Atma, your enemy is also your Atma. And then he continues, a man who has won over his senses and mind is a bandhu for himself. He has a pleasant living, does all action, offers at the feet of God, and always relaxed even at the point of death, no worry at all. But a man who has not controlled himself lives like a shatru for himself. I gave the example of addicts. The addicts are shatrus of themselves. They are the enemies of themselves because they know that they have fallen, but they don't have a means to come up. Therefore, Krishna says, unless you try to become better, nobody on earth, even God, will not help you. And when a man wins over his senses and mind, he becomes very near to, he has the Paramatma Samayata. He is very near that cosmic consciousness. And he bears everything that comes equally. Which are they? Shita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha, Mana, Apamana. These are some of the things that come to us in our life. Krishna says, bear them freely. And then a man must be having two things, knowledge and experience. This jnani has both, has knowledge and also experience. Then he is said to be a yogi. He is not worried about anything. He says he is a Samaloštashma Kanchanaha. He sees mud, sand, and gold equally. Samaloštashma Kanchanaha, that man will be like. And then he will see everybody as God's creation. Sarvanmitra Adudashina Madhyastha Dvesha Bandhushu. With friends, with enemies, with mediocres, and all, he sees only God. He sees equally all of them. As he said in the previous chapter, Vidya, Vinaya Sampanne, Brahmane, Gavyastini, Shvanichayva, Shrupakecha, Pandita, Samadarshana. A jnani looks at all people as an expression of the cosmic consciousness. That is the great thing that he repeats in a different wordings here. And yogi has to concentrate and do the meditation. Krishna starts teaching meditation from Shloka 10 of chapter 6. One has to sit in a clean place, firmly, on a seat where darba is spread, on which there is a deer skin, over which you have to put a cloth. And then it should not be too high and it should not be too low. That is the seat in which one has to sit to do meditation. And you have to concentrate your mind and all activities of the mind. Chitte Indriya Kriya. All Indriya Kriyas, all our five senses, their activities are to be stopped, and he must sit like that. So in that condition, he has to do meditation for a beautiful cause of Atma Shuddhaye. Beautiful it is. We have to do meditation to purify ourselves. That is the Krishna's words. You have to do the meditation for Atma Shuddhi. And you have to keep your body straight in meditation. Samam kaya shiro grivam dharayan achanam stiraha. Head, neck, and body must be in straight line. You must sit in the seat which he said previously. And then he has to sit with brahmachari vrata. That is to say, all his mind on cosmic consciousness, Brahman or God. Or he must keep all his mind in God. Matchitta asita matparaha, he says. Matchitta asita matparaha. Let him have mind in me and let him sit remembering me. That is the way a man has to sit for meditation. And in that position, he gets an absolute peace of mind. And that is Matsamstam, he says. My peace of mind a man will also have in sitting in meditation like this. After controlling all his mind, if he can sit without any trace of his ego, surrenders himself totally to that cosmic consciousness, sits beautifully remembering God, he reaches Matsamstha, he says, my peace of mind this man will also get. There are certain conditions to gain the result in meditation. he says about the food habit and other habits. A man who overeats cannot reach this condition. Man who doesn't eat also cannot reach. A man who sleeps forever, always he sleeps, no, he cannot do the meditation. A man who says, I will always be awake, I don't go to sleep and do meditation, not possible. So meditation is to be done by a man who is yuktahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu. Moderate in all his food, exercise, activity, and other things. And also having enough sleep, keeping awake wherever it is necessary. For that man, yoga becomes the remover of dukkha. Yoga becomes the remover of dukkha for that man. When the mind is controlled like that, he can sit free from longing for any objects. And then it is the highest stage that he can reach in meditation. He gives this with a beautiful example of a lamp lit in a place where there is no wind. Constantly burning lamp is there in a windless room. This man's mind is also continuously concentrating on the God he is praying for. He is one with that one. Yatha Deepo Nivatasto Ningate Sompamasmita is a beautiful example given by Krishna to the meditator's mind. And when one does not go out, one only sees oneself. That is the Atma Jnana, he says. Pashyanyatmani tushyati. Then the Atma without any desires, if you sit, it is the same Atma, it is the cosmic consciousness there in him also. He will sit in that beautiful condition. And he gets the highest peace of mind in this condition of meditation. Sukham atyantikam yattat. Buddhigrahimat. It cannot be explained with words. That is the beauty of the joy that a man has to get in meditation. When he gets that, he doesn't consider any other thing is better than this one. Yam labdva chaparam labam manyate nadikam tataha. The highest that we can get is the peace in meditation. There is no equivalent to that anywhere. And having stayed in this condition, he will not be disturbed by the highest of sorrows that is there. That condition is to be known. I told you that there are 4 states of experience. One is waking state, another one is dream, another one is dreamlessness. Dreamlessness, we are not aware of anything. In meditation, we are aware, but we get a better peace of mind, shanti, than the dreamless sleep. That is to be achieved in wakened state. That is what is Krishna's advice for us. And that is to be done, Krishna says, without stopping. Continuously one ought to do it. Yogo nirvinna chetasa. You ought to do yoktavya nirvinna chetasa. You ought to do it every day, continuously to get this joy. And then he has to leave out all the things that comes in his mind again and again. Krishna knows mind is flickering. When we sit for meditation, it wanders. We will remember something or the other. So what he says is, you have to take control easily. Shanai ruparamet buddhya dhruti grihitya. You must know the purpose for which you are sitting. And you must gradually take control of your mind. Atma samstam manakrutva nakinchidapi chintayet. Having your mind on Atman, you must not think of anything other than Atman. Nakinchidapi chintayet. Meditation is not thinking of anything, but thinking of nothing. Sit silently without thoughts. And that not possible. Have God in your heart. Or externally there is a God, you sit before him. You must have to have a God to sit like that. So as and when the mind wavers, you have to take control of that and concentrate again on the Atman. And he will get a Prashantatma, Uttama Sukham, beautiful things. He will be sitting very pleasantly. Highest joy he gets, the joy of meditation. All his Rajoguna will disappear. He will sit one with Brahman. That man is not different man from that cosmic consciousness. And then this meditator has no conflict whatsoever. He reaches that highest. And then he says, Sarvabhutastam Atmanam. Every living being, he sees himself existing in every living being. And he also sees himself having every living being in him. Sarvabhutastam Atmani, Sarvabhutani Chatmani, Krishna says. Ikshate Yoga Yuktatma. A man with yoga sees everyone as one. There is God in everyone. Everyone is in himself also. That is the experience. And ultimately, the highest point of yoga, he says, a man who sees God everywhere is seen by me from everywhere. Yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvanchamai pashyati. One who sees me everywhere is seen by me from every side. Tasyaham na pranashyami. A beautiful assurance by Krishna to the meditator. I will not become non-existent for him, and he will also be always in my mind. He will not disappear from my mind. We are mutual to each other. I am with him always, who sees God in everything. That is the beautiful thing he says. And he continues, says, this man who has achieved the highest in yoga, whatever may be the position and the state in this life, he is yogi, he says. He sees everyone as equal. He sees sukha, dukkha, and everything as equal. That man is a yogi. And when he says these things, Arjuna naturally gets a doubt. He tells to Krishna, Krishna, you are a yogi. You are Yogeshwara. You told me so many things. But think of me. My mind is always flickering. I am not able to see the truth that you have been revealing to me. And Arjuna asked one of the greatest questions in Bhagavad Gita about me and you. Chanchalam himana Krishna pramati balvadrudam. He says, mind is so flickering. It goes hither and thither. And controlling it is a difficult thing. That's what I believe. It is as if to control the wind with our hands. The wind will escape and go. Same thing is happening in controlling the mind. That is what Arjuna tells Krishna. And these are my doubts. You have to answer me. And then Krishna answers, a beautiful answer by God himself. Asamshayam mahabaho mano durnigraham chalam. Doubtlessly, Arjuna, to win over the mind is difficult. What is difficult is not impossible. So he says, Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena sakuhete. Constant and abhyasa and vairagya will make you win over your flickering mind, he says. Unless a man tries to win over his mind and senses and feelings, control them, it is not possible to become a yogi. So, to become a yogi, one must be able to control his mind, he says. And then Arjuna again gets another question. Supposing man is trying to achieve this end goal of realizing self, but he hasn't achieved. In the meantime, his life ends. What would happen to that man? He had neither enjoyed the beauties of the world nor got the joy of the meditation. What would happen to him is the great question which Arjuna asked. Won't he become like a shattered cloud? Neither good here nor other way. These are my doubts, Krishna says Arjuna to Krishna. And he also says, I can't think of a better man to answer me this question, so you ought to give me the answer. Tadanya samshayasya chetana upapadyate. 36. There is no other man who can solve my problem better than you, therefore you must solve my problem. And then Krishna answers, whatever you have done, good you have done, will not go a waste. So a man who has done some achievement and dead then will go to Punya Lokas and he will be born in a better family there. He will be born in a yogi's family in the next life, he says. It is a rare opportunity for a man to be born in a family like that. There, this man who did a lot of yoga did not succeed in his previous life, continues effort in this life. Paurodehikam, he begins to, he gets all that was there in him in the previous life. He continues again and will be reaching the goal. So he will reach the Brahman or Atman and he will go beyond that. So he says, yogi makes effort by means, cleans impurities and reaches the ultimate goal. And he says, this man is a yogi who has reached this goal of Atmajnan. He is better than a tapasvi. He is better than a man who is doing meditation, better than a man who has got a lot of knowledge but no experience, and better than a man who does all karma expecting a result. Therefore, Krishna asks Arjuna to be a yogi. One of the greatest in Bhagavad Gita, tapasvibhyo diko yogi. Yogi is greater than tapasvi. Jnanibhyo pi matodikaha. Yogi is greater than a man who knows a lot of theoretical knowledge. Karmibhyasya diko yogi. Yogi is better than man who does all his activity expecting a result. Therefore, Krishna says Arjuna to become a yogi. And even among yogis, Krishna says, one whose mind is steadfast in cosmic consciousness, madgate antaratmanaha. He has established his antaratma in me, who remembers me, who does his meditation with Shraddha, is better than all. He has reached the ultimate goal of life. Same yuktatomo mataha, he says. He is the greatest. He has reached the goal. So this is a beautiful chapter, Dhyana Yoga or Atma Samyama Yoga, where Krishna teaches Arjuna how to meditate, how to live, and how to achieve the highest goal in life,